Hello and welcome to St. Petersburg in Russia. We're here live at the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. My name is Angela and hello to all our CGTN viewers on YouTube, Twitter, Weibo, and also our CGTN app. So this is the first day of the Economic Forum and it will continue from the 6th to the 8th. And we're here at the venue, and also you can see here we have an on-site studio. So today I'm taking you backstage to where we're going to be covering the entire Economic Forum, because it's a major year this year, especially with themes on sustainability, sustainable growth and development, and also China and Russia and the big part that they will play. And here we can see we're very busy right now preparing for the events that are to come. And we have one of our journalists here. Do you want to say hi, Charles?
Hi, hey everybody.
How's it going?
Great, with lots of caffeine, of course.
Yeah. Busy?
Yeah, I mean, China and Russia relations are in focus now, so we are doing a lot of stories to explain why this relationship matters and what it means for Russia's energy dependency and its emerging technology sector, which are all exciting stories happening right now.
Excellent. Well, good luck with the coverage.
Yeah. Just buy me a cup of coffee.
There's so many coffees around here. This is one of the perks of being here at the media center and at the venue. And right now we're actually in venue F. This area has a lot of Russian companies and organizations, and from tech to banking to finance. And it's an amazing show that everyone's putting on, and all the best products and services. And right now I want to see if our anchor Tian Wei is available for a quick chat. Hello. Hi Tian. Hello. Are you free for a quick chat? How are you?
Very good, very good. Hello.
Great. Hello to our viewers. I think everyone recognizes.
Oh,
who you
thank
are.
you.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Tian Wei from CGTN. I've been hosting a show called The World Insight with Tian Wei for quite several years. Global debate, in-depth discussion, and we are here at St. Petersburg Economic Forum.
Excellent. I'll probably perch myself here.
Okay.
And I think this is your 4th forum this year?
Yes, exactly. Already the 4th year. So a lot of changes, actually, in a way, a witness to what's going on between China and Russia, and also the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. I remember 4 years ago when Russia was new under sanctions, very few international participants at the forum, and we were having a difficult time trying to get different kinds of voices in the discussion. But this year you see a lot of diversity, Russia, Germany, Russia, Japan, Russia, India, Russia, China, Russia, Nordic countries, so you name it. So it's a very interesting evolvement, particularly China and Russia.
Yes, exactly. And I think there's a huge turnout this year.
Yeah.
Over 17,000 participants this year. It's incredible. And I know that since landing in St. Petersburg, you've been very busy. I think this is like the first time I've managed to sit you down to have a conversation.
Sorry, we've been trying to figure out the time to do this.
Exactly. So can you explain kind of what our viewers can expect, or the things that you've been doing, a little sneak peek into your work here?
Yes, of course. I just want to show you some photos of what we've been doing and what it's up in our programs. Of course, we've been visiting some of the most important palaces and also museums here. This is with one of those museum directors. And of course, we've been walking with her, and also talking to the kids who are, trying to draw Chinese paintings with watercolor paintings. We went to their schools. They have a small summer camp of learning Chinese culture. And meanwhile, let me just look for other photos. For example, this lady is coming from a museum in which there were rooms so-called dedicated to China 200 years ago. Yes, exactly, so-called China room. All of the paintings on the wall were recreated after the Second World War because the whole city, the museum itself has been destroyed, but they tried to renovate. But anyway, these are just some of the glimpses of what we've been trying to do, which is to talk about the culture and the historical link, between China and Russia. It's been going through a very interesting period of time, from romantic perceptions of the Chinese to, philosophical, because they got to know the Chinese philosophy, Kongzi, Taoism, and then there's also the time when they see China's revolution, before the PRC was founded. And of course, there was Cold War era when the two countries were on some bumpy roads.
Exactly.
And then China reform opened up, things different. And now, at a very different stage, China-US engage in some kinds of trade conflicts. And China and Russia see more opportunities of cooperating for win-win results. So the evolvement of this relationship is extremely interesting.
It's a long-term relationship.
Actually, yeah, exactly. That's what they're looking at right now, the so-called strategic partnership of coordination in the new era. That's the new title.
Yeah, and that's a big theme here at the conference this year because it's talking about sustainability development, sustainability growth, and also the China and Russia relationship and partnership.
Yeah.
So I think for this year, what are your expectations? What are you looking forward to?
We are actually looking forward to talking to some of the real players, like really people in the know, because you see in some media reports, at least in some international media, about Russia, it's all about sanctions, it's all about relationship with the West. But if you come to St. Petersburg, for example, just to take a look at the real lives of the people, they're enjoying themselves. And it's very different from what the media is suggesting about the mainstream. So we want to bring different diversities about the real life and also about the history and how it's going to shine some light on how we think about today and the future. That's one thing. And the other thing is China-Russia, as we discussed earlier, very new stage of strategic relationships. What does that mean for both countries, one another, and also for the others, players in the world? And meanwhile, we try to cover, of course, the most important thing, that is the speech given by Chinese President Xi Jinping in a major session with the Russian president upcoming in CGTN's programs. And we want to know what are some of the most important points in President Xi's speech, because we've been seeing him speaking at international conferences recently, but not in the recent weeks in which the US-China trade conflict seems to be escalating apparently. So people want to hear what is the thought from Chinese top leader about the latest situation. Is China still stick to its original thought of reform and opening up? And how is China looking at the other players vis-a-vis its relationship with the US? So these will be very exciting information that we can get through the both the speech and also the analysis of the speech.
So interesting times. And will you also be producing an analysis of the speech? Can we look forward to that?
Yes, we've been trying to put out the commentaries as we've been talking to players here in this country. As a journalist, I try not to give my own opinion, but rather incorporate others' idea, because that's what journalists are supposed to do. And I think there have been too much sharing of so-called dramatic emotions rather than real facts and real quotes coming from real people from different walks of life. So I think that's what we aspire to do here in St. Petersburg International Forum. Angela, you know this because we've been on trips together.
Yes.
That we need to be where the news is.
Yes.
And we would need to be here when things are happening.
Exactly.
And we need to have a real glimpse and the feeling of exactly what's going on firsthand, rather than hearing it secondhand, because it's very important for accuracy.
No, that's absolutely true. And I think this is why it's so important for broadcasters like us, like CGTN, here at the event, because we're really the melting point where we get all the information, we hear all the voices, we get the different perspectives, and then we basically put those on the table for the viewers, and then they can make those decisions. And that's why your work is so important.
That's very true. CGTN this time in St. Petersburg International Economic Forum has a huge team. We have different services. The English service, the Russian service are all here. And we also have the new media team, who is the lady over here holding the camera, and you volunteer doing reports like this. It's so important that we show this diversity of reporting and our teams coordinate and interacting with one another. This is very exciting. Exciting time.
And especially, this is your fourth event here, so you've already seen the changes to St. Petersburg and changes to this forum.
Oh, absolutely. Even just the perceptions that people have here in Russia about Chinese. 4 years ago when we come here for the very first time to cover the forum, yes, we got a lot of exclusive interviews with officials, but when you talk to people do not really know that much about China. But now, as I mentioned, we go to a summer camp for the girls, 10 to 14 years old, learning Chinese and drawing Chinese pictures. It's not about how much language they really learn, but rather their curiosity about a different culture and how much that would mean, for these kids when they grow up, that they were cultivating themselves about diversity and other possibilities. I think this is totally beautiful.
And I think we also have something very exciting coming up here in St. Petersburg with you working with RT. I believe you're co-hosting.
Yes. Of course, RT is having a very different editorial policy compared to that of CGTN, as we are coming from very different backgrounds.
Exactly.
But it's always rewarding to work with our international partners. We can always learn from one another. There might be differences, but comparing notes never hurts. And always it's an enriching of both the soul and the minds, because we got to know how we see things differently, but at the same time sometimes how we see things in unity. It just broadens one's horizon in a way. And this year we cooperated with RT, but last year we cooperated with NBC of the United States here in St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. So we want to bring this diversity to our reporting and also to our viewers. Sometimes when you have different ideas, whether you call it clash, quote unquote, or interacting, or just communicate, it's a beautiful thing. I learned so much with my team here through St. Petersburg International Economic Forum. The Belt and Road Initiative with the Eurasian Economic Union, all of these wonderful ideas, how they will eventually come true and benefit all players. And once again, we want to emphasize all players. It's fascinating.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I'm being kicked out of the room because we're actually disrupting.
We have a live show.
Exactly. We actually have a live. So Miss Tian Wei will be live on our CGTN channels, and also you can stream it live as well, and you can actually see her in action, reporting on the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum.
And I see you in action also.
Yes.
I see you in action.
Exactly.
Here.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure always speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
So good luck with the report. I want a hug.
Okay, still got a few days to go.
Exactly, Thursday, and we have a really important stuff coming up, and we have guests coming in.
Yes.
Hi, sir. Sorry for taking up your time.
I overheard some accent of the Aussie girl. Are you from Australia?
No, I'm not from Australia. I'm from the UK, but I do get mistaken for it, so I have to work on my accent.
No, really. No, you are not from Australia.
No, not from Australia. Sorry.
但是有人说你是澳洲人。
有。
为什么？
I don't know. Maybe our viewers can answer, because I'm being asked where I'm from. I'm Chinese, but I grew up in the UK, and because at CGTN we have such a mixed collection of people, staff, that I think our accents are just getting more and more international. Great. And then we're just going to see around here, and also for our viewers, I think this is one of the highlights. Sorry, I need to shut the door. Okay. So this is a touch screen, and this is one of the highlights in our booth this year. You can see we have CCTV, CNR, CRI, and CGTN. This is because since last year we are now officially China Media Group. So all the TV and radio are now coming together to form this huge media organization. And as I'm from CGTN, so I shall show you guys if this works, because it's really cold in the pavilion, so the touch screen is not great. Is this working? Okay, I'm not sure if this is working. Or is this on loop? Oh, there we go. It's come up. Okay, so this is about CGTN. You can get all of these information online as well on our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. And also it's about CGTN and our programs. World Insight with Tian Wei. So Ms. Tian Wei here. And our other programs. Yes. All right, take care. And also our anchors. They can. This is fully interactive. 刘星、周约、陈雷 and Ji Xiaojie. And this is one of the highlights. This is where people can basically come to our booth and find out a little about CGTN and what we do and how we are seeing the difference, because this is the motto for CGTN. And sorry, would you like to? And also, I think Charles mentioned earlier that there's a lot of cafes around, and for our booth, it's something that journalists and reporters and media people need a lot, because we're here very early in the morning, so we have our own coffee machines even, and you can see on the big screen there, this is where we can see all the lives. So I think if we wait a couple of minutes to see Tian Wei, maybe we can catch her doing her thing on the big screen. But before that, we can just do a quick kind of loop of the hall, just in case we don't want to lose signal, because this place is so big, and you can see there's a lot of banks over there. And this side, I think I mentioned earlier, is a lot of Russian companies, so you can really see a diverse kind of business and the kind of business that you can do here in Russia. And these are all our colleagues here, and I just want to can you see our journalists hard at work? So what do you have coming up next?
Today, I'll interview the biggest petrochemical company called Sibor. It's a Russian company talking about oil, because we're having this OPEC Plus agreement meeting happening right now. I mean, Saudi and the Russian oil ministers are meeting because we have this global oil supply glut, and it matters to the oil prices, and also it matters to Russia's currency ruble, which is not very stable recently.
Yeah.
That's what I'm working on, and hope I'm not boring you.
No, not at all. And what are your expectations coming? Is this your first time here?
Right. First time in Russia, first time in St. Petersburg.
Wow, how have you found it so far?
It's a lovely city. I mean, let me give you an example. I mean, earlier we went to this Italian place in downtown, and it's about 300 rubles for a four
getting ready for the live, so before she goes we'll probably cut away from here so then you guys can watch her actual live on our CGTN app, on our CGTN.com live streaming, and also on our CGTN channel. And also we're available on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, and also Weibo. And also we mentioned earlier we also have a special cooperation and co-host with RT Russia Today, which you guys can also catch next week on our channel and also on our website. And if you have any questions, please write it in the comment boxes, and in the next live we'll try to answer those. Please stay tuned to CGTN and we'll be bringing you the